Who was that? Who was that, Lauren?
That's Vanessa.
Vanessa. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean. Okay. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you to Estes Field on the campus of Central Methodist University, where today it's game 3 and 4 of the series between Central Methodist and Baker. Quentin Norris from the Catbird seat. Central Methodist, they are 9 and 7, 3 and 3 in the conference, while Baker's 7 and 7, 4 and 2 in the conference. Of course, these two teams met yesterday. Central Methodist won the first game, 27 to 3, scoring 15 runs, sent 20 men to the plate in that first inning there. Foster Stites getting the win, 6 solid innings there. Nick Tampa pitched a solid inning there as well. And then the second game was 9-8 Central Methodist in the 8th inning. Of course, Baker's jumped ahead 1-0 on the leadoff home run by Camden Carlin. But then Darius Freeman hit a grand slam home run to make it 4-1 now. And then Baker had a run there. Then Central Methodist added a run in the second inning. Each team added a run. Then it was 4-3, and then Baker got down to 4-6-5, and then the 3-run homer of Brendan Johnson gave Baker an 8-6 lead there, and then Tanner Sears hit the 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th inning to tie the game at 8, and then Tanner Sears came up there with runners at first and second. Weedy was at second. Kyle Williams is at first, and then on the 0-1 pitch, Tanner Sears lined a single into right field, scoring Zeb Weedy with a game-winning run to make it 9-8 there as well. So now, upcoming schedule, of course, Central Methodist softball. They were originally scheduled to play 2 games down at Gulf Shores, but we've been informed that game got canceled because of the weather. So, with about 6 minutes to go in the first period, New Jersey leads Philadelphia 1-0 down in Philadelphia. That's a big battle there in the Lank division. That should be a fun matchup there as well. 2:30 p.m. That's the Pittsburgh Penguins take on the Minnesota Wild there in Minneapolis. The 12th, of course, Pat Reardon, Central Methodist softball. They'll be taking on Williams-Back. Doubleheader starts at 12 noon. The second game at 2:30. At 2 o'clock, Central, of course, softball coach Pat Reardon is 1 win away from 1,000. So Wednesday could be that magical day there as well. At 6:30 p.m. on TNT, an NHL game, the Buffalo Sabres take on the Detroit Red Wings. Then on the 13th, Thursday night, St. Louis Blues take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. 6 o'clock p.m. That's on Dual Sports Midwest there as well. Pre-game show at 5:30 p.m. as well. This Saturday, Central Methodist Baseball, they'll have a doubleheader taking on Culver Stockton. Game times 1 and 3 p.m. 2 o'clock on ABC television. The New Jersey Devils take on the Pittsburgh Penguins there, along with, of course, I'll be on there along with Ray Ferraro, Emily Kaplan, and many of the games, Steve Levy, Mark Messier, and PK Subban in our studios. Then next Sunday, we've got the Vegas Golden Knights take on the Detroit Red Wings, 12 noon there. Baseball includes their 4-game series taking on Culver Stockton, 1 and 3:30 down in Canton. 2:30 p.m. Dallas takes on Colorado there as well. 5 o'clock, Anaheim takes on St. Louis. And St. Louis, that's on FanDuel Midwest, Sports Midwest. Softball on St. Patrick's Day. They'll be in St. Louis taking on Missouri Baptist. Game times 2 and 4. Then on the 18th, St. Louis Blues will be in Nashville taking on the Nashville Predators. Game times at 7 o'clock. Then on next Thursday night, of course, then and it'll be Colorado and Toronto. I believe that's on Hulu. Then on the 20th, Wednesday night, that's on TNT. Then on the 20th, Vancouver, St. Louis takes on Vancouver Blues. That's 6:30 p.m. That's on Hulu and ESPN Plus. And on the 21st, Columbus takes on Pittsburgh, 6 p.m. on the NHL Network. Then, of course, 13 days from now, we've got baseball to be at Clark for a doubleheader starting at 1 and 3:30. And then softball will be at home taking on Mid-American Nazarene, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock pregame show, 12:45 p.m. as well. Then that night, 7 p.m., the NHL game on ABC Sports. The Detroit Red Wings take on the Vegas Golden Knights there as well. That should be a fun little matchup there down in Las Vegas there. In the standings there, you got Moon Valley at 4-0, 7-5. Mid-American Nazareth 4-1, 9-4. Baker 4-2, 7-7. Grandview 1-1, 5-3. Central Methodist 3-3, 9-7. Park is 2-2, 6-5. Graceland 3-3, 9-10. Clark 1-1, 7-8 altogether. Benedictine is 1-5, 5-13. Then you have a tie for 10th. William Penn 7-5. Mount Mercy is 5-7, 0-0. They have not played a conference game yet. Hopefully they'll play today, but depending on what the weather is down there. I think these two teams are supposed to play, but it's going to depend on what the weather does. And Culver Stockton in 12th, 0-2, 6-8. Bruce State 0-4 and 5-11 as well. So lots of stuff there as well. Umpiring crew is all together. Should be a fun little game there today. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and give you today's starting lineups there as well. First, for visiting Baker University, that's Camden Carlin leading off and playing the DH spot. Brendan Johnson is their center fielder. Eli Young is at third base. Colton Howerton is at right field. And you got John Jenkins at first base. That's Chris Buffler is the catcher. Tyson Wallace is in left field. Jaden Bowers is shortstop. And then Javier Gary is at second base. Today's starting pitcher. Cole Starlin is today's starting pitcher as well. For your Central Methodist Eagles, that's Valentin Cerna Jr. is at second base. Kyle Williams is at first base there. Tanner Sears is the catcher. Ryan Malzahn is in left. Carlos Negron, who had 4 homers, 8 RBIs in that doubleheader yesterday. Then you got Darius Freeman is in center field. Had a grand slam in that first inning in game number 2. Peyton Becker is the DH. David Soriano is at shortstop. And Zeb Weedy is at third. Today's starting pitcher is Marcos Lopez on the mound there as well. There you see the coach for Baker University. That's Ryan Goodwin. Head coach for Central Methodist is Nate Breland there as well. So a great crowd on hand Sunday afternoon. I think temperatures are supposed to be in the upper 50s. And maybe some spots, maybe around the Lake of the Ozarks area. If you're listening in from the lake area, I think they may be seeing some 60s, maybe mid-60s there as well. I think tomorrow's supposed to be in the 70s, if according to what weathercaster Micah Stevens has to say there as well. But as you know, spring will be here in 11 days. And looks like spring is about here. So it should be a lot of fun as the coaches are meeting at home plate. They're talking over, going over the ground rules and all that stuff. Also, just like if you're listening in, that tomorrow is my birthday. So if you have an opportunity there, I will take text messages. I will take emails. You can email me at qnorris1975@gmail.com, or you could text me at 66, or you can send me a text message. I will take text messages, or if you're friends with me on Facebook or on X, you can send me a message there on as well. So, of course, I will be 50 years old there as well. And I was born right here in Fayette, Missouri. There as well. So we should be getting started. I think Cam Majon will be our PA announcer. He'll go over the starting lineups there as well. Of course, in just about 18 days, you got baseball's opening day. The Milwaukee Brewers take on the New York Yankees. That's at 2 o'clock at Yankee Stadium for the first time since last August. Joe Buck will be on the call there. Of course, he was on the call when the Cardinals were playing the Cubs, and that was when Cardinals announcer Chip Carey there as well. And the connection is Joe's dad, Jack, was the Cardinals radio announcer, while Chip's grandpa was Harry Carey, who used to do Cardinals games. And from like 1945 to like 1969 there, they were reunited as well. So we're about ready to get started. Both teams shake hands. So we're about ready to get started. We got the baseballs all set there. Brought a whole bucket of it. Starting lineups, national anthem. Now it's time to play ball. As Ernie Banks will say it best, let's play two. Let's go ahead and set the defense for you. Sponsored by the Exchange Bank of Missouri. Out in left field, Ryan Malzahn. In center field, Darius Freeman. In right field there, that is Carlos Negron. At third base, Zeb Weedy. Shortstop is David Soriano. Second baseman, Valentin Cerna Jr. First baseman, Kyle Williams. Catcher, Tanner Sears. Today's starting pitcher, Marcos Lopez from Puerto Rico. He is 0-1 with a 9 ERA, 6 walks, and 11 strikeouts there as well. And of course, we'll give you today's starting lineups there for Baker University. That is sponsored by Casey's. Camden Carlin is the DH. Brennan Johnson in center field. Eli Young is at third base. That is Colton Howerton in right field there. John Jenkins at first base. Chris Buffler is the catcher. Tyson Wallace is in left field. That is Jaden Bowers at shortstop. And Javier Aguirre, today's starting pitcher, is Cole Starlin. So Carlin, Johnson, Young, Howerton, Jenkins, Buffler, Wallace, Bowers, and Aguirre. And there is Cole Starlin, today's starting pitcher there as well. Of course, Lopez getting his warm-up tosses in there. Well, looks like we may get a little bit of an early start, which that is fine by me there. I think Lopez will get his warm-up toss there. Ryan Goodwin. One more. There's a couple more warm-up tosses there, and we're about ready to get started. Beautiful Sunday afternoon there. Boy, it feels like I'm just doing the game from Wrigley Field there on WGN television. So we're about ready to get started as Camden Carlin is your batter up there. Carlin, 4 homers, 11 RBIs. He came into the series as the team's leading hitter at .415 there. Marcos Lopez gets on the rubber there. Gets ready for our first pitch. And here it comes. That's a ball there. Came at 1 o'clock p.m. Temperature 55 degrees. The time and temperature sponsored by The Parking Spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The Parking Spot here at Kansas City International Airport. 1 ball, no strikes. There is a strike call on the inside corner there at 1-1 there. 1-1 now on Camden Carlin. Carlin, here's the pitch. There's a good job of framing it, as the great Joe Garagiola used to say that on NBC television. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beautiful day, Dodger blue skies overlooking Estes Field there. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. 1 down now. And here is Brennan Johnson. 1 homer, 4 RBIs on the year there. Hit a big 3-run homer that gave Baker the 8-6 lead in the top of the 7th inning in game number 2 there. First pitch to him. Nice job of framing it by Tanner Sears, as the great Tony Kubek would say. Back in the time when he used to team up with Kurt Gowdy. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch. Hits a high fly ball there. I think Negron, there is Valentin Cerna Jr. makes the catch for out number 2. And they'll bring up Eli Young. 3 homers, 10 RBIs on the year. Young, a right-handed hitter. Lopez got the first 2 outs recorded. And the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Oh, that was a curveball, ladies and gentlemen. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch. Hits the ground ball to Weedy. He plays on one bounce. Throws over to Kyle Williams, who banks it out. A 1-2-3 inning goes Baker. We'll go into the bottom of the first inning. No score. And let's set the defense for you. Sponsored by Commercial Trust Bank. That's Tyson Wallace is in left. In center field, Brendan Johnson. That's Colton Howerton in right. Eli Young is at third base. The shortstop, Jaden Bauer. Second baseman is Javier Aguirre. That's John Jenkins at first base. Chris Buffler is the catcher. Today's starting pitcher is Cole Starlin. Starlin, 1-2, 6.75 ERA, 3 walks and 8 strikeouts there. Of course, Baker in the light blue uniforms there. Looks like orange trim, orange numerals. Central Methodist in the black uniform. Green trims and the green numerals. Birds on the bats. Give you their starting line at first. Valentin Cerner Jr. is at second base. Kyle Williams at first. Tanner Sears is the catcher. Ryan Malzahn is in left field. Carlos Agron is at third base. Darius Freeman's in center field. Peyton Becker is at DH. David Soriano's at shortstop. Zeb Weedy is at third base. And today's pitcher is Marcos Lopez. So we got Cerna Jr., Williams, and Sears. Malzahn, Negron, Freeman, Ecker, Soriano, Weedy. So 1-2-3 inning, of course. And remember that first game yesterday, Central Methodist got off to a great start there. They scored 15 runs, sent 20 men to the plate. A left-hander on the mound. There's Valentin Cerner Jr., no homers, 4 RBIs on the season. First pitch to him. That's outside, ball 1 there. 1 ball, no strikes on Valentin Cerner Jr. I think that's Jordan Fitzpatrick, the third base coach there. 2-0 to Garrett. I think Trey Rosenfloss is coaching in first. 2-0 to count. Quentin Norris from the catbird seat. 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. 3-0 on Valentin Cerner Jr. 3-0 to count. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4 there. So leadoff walk there. And here is Kyle Williams. 1 homer, 15 RBIs from Houston, Texas. From Dallas, Texas. So Valentin Cerner Jr. is the first base runner for either team. First pitch to him. Ball 1 on deck is Tanner Sears. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. On Kyle Williams, came over from Mid-American Christian down in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Oh, that hit him. So now first and second, and here's Tanner Sears, who drove in the game-winning hit on the 0-1 pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning in the right field. That scores Zeb Weed. He also hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th inning. That tied the game at 8-8. 2 homers, 16 RBIs. Of course, I got to meet his mom, Shelly, who took a picture of me. Of course, his dad is Kurt. His grandmother is Connie. He has a sister named Tori. And it's a ball there. Senior from Higginsville. A lot of my friends live in Higginsville area. Most notably Shannon North, who has a birthday coming up on Thursday. Along with Courtney Nairn, of course, along with her sister Carrie. There as well, I think. And of course, Kim Miller. All lived in Higginsville. 1-1 to count. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1 there. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike. first and second, nobody out. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. Nobody out. Could we see something like that in the first game of game number, like in that first inning, game 1? Remember when they scored 15 runs there? Or something, he'll raise his hands. Or if he... 2-2 pitch. That's a little chopper. That may roll foul. Yeah, it is a foul ball. Or sometimes, if you ever seen your umpire point, like the third and the first baseman, if they point, that's a fair ball. Huh? No one's out. No one. Still 2-2. If you're never sure, you can ask me because I watch a lot of baseball. Which you probably would know that. Okay. 2-2 the count on Tanner Sears. Cerna Jr.'s at second. Williams at first. The 2-2 pitch. Hits a chopper. Fouls. It is 2-2. Or Ryan Malzahn on deck. Who you may remember when he got introduced to the crowd, he jumped over one of the Central Methodist players, just like Jose Lean did to Joe Garagiola back in 1987 on NBC television, which I always will remember that one there, where Joe Garagiola was in Pittsburgh. He was on the field doing the pregame show, and all of a sudden Jose Lean jumped over his head. 3-2 the count. Fouls it off. 3-2 the count. Just to increase the tension. Estes Field shivering with its concrete foundations. Three and two the count on Tanner Sears. What a good bat he has done. It's a high fly ball there, and it's a foul ball. I think that's what Nate Brennan mentioned to me last night right after the postgame report. He said we got to make him fill the strike zones, and so far Tanner Sears has done that. Shelley with that Polaroid camera out around the first base area. Chopper foul. Still 3-2. Ryan Malzahn is on deck, followed by Carlos DeGrom, who had 4 homers, 8 RBIs in the doubleheader, 3 homers and 7 RBIs in game number 1. He could be in line for the Hard-American Conference Player of the Week. 3-2. Strike 3 call just snuck in on the inside corner, so 1 out now. Here's Ryan Malzahn. 1 homer, 15 RBIs. Malzahn, where's the number 15? Like another famous 15, Tim McCarver. Famous catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals when they won the World Series back in 1964 and 67. And that is a ball. He was also the last player to steal home in a World Series game. Game 7 of the 1964 World Series against the New York Yankees. Went on to become a successful baseball announcer. Probably one of the best baseball announcers we've ever had on ABC television. Most notably teaming up with Al Michaels and Jim Palmer. And he was one of the announcers on the call of Game 6 of the 1985 World Series. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 to count. I think he was the only baseball announcer that's ever done the World Series on 3 different networks. ABC, of course, later moved to Fox, teaming with Joe. And, of course, later to CBS. There's a ground ball, knocks it down. So now base is loaded. And I have a feeling that's going to be an error on the shortstop there. They're going to give him a hit there. Here's Carlos DeGrom. 4 homers, 18 RBIs. He had 4 homers and 8 RBIs in yesterday's doubleheader, including 3 homers and 7 RBIs in game number 1 there. So actually it's an error on the shortstop. No hit. So bases loaded for Eagles and still 1 out. First pitch to him. There's a strike there, and it's 0-1 now. juniors at third, Williams at second, Malzahn with the error, the 0-1. Hits a high fly ball, and it's a 0-2 count with Darius Freeman on deck. Oh and 2 the count. The 0-2 pitch. A little bit high and inside. 1-2 now. One ball, 2 strikes on Carlos Negron. 1-2 pitch. Hits a little chopper to the shortstop. They'll go to second for one. The first. They got him. A 6-4-3 double play. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 3 left on. We head to the top of the second. No score on the Hart Conference Network. And also 1 error on the play as well. Now, what's your name? Is what? I'm quitting. What is it? Vanessa. Nice to meet you. From around here? Or? Top of the second. Now, I'm trying to remember, what sport do you play here? No. Tremendous, no runs, 1 no hits, and 1 error for Baker. As that is Colton Howerton coming to the bat. 229 hitter, no homers, 9 RBIs. Lopez has got the first 3 outs recorded. First pitch to him. Hits a fly ball to right field. Negron giving a run. It is gone. A home run for Colton Howerton. And Baker leads it 1-0 for Colton Howerton. His first of the year, RBI number 10. So 1-0 lead to Baker. And then here comes John Jenkins, the batter. Jenkins, homer, 9 RBIs on the season. So 1 hit so far for Baker. First, Central Methodist had the bases loaded 1 out, but the double play killed the rally. And a strike call on the inside corner, and it's 0-1 now by Carlos Negron. 1 hit so far for Baker. The 0-1. Strike 2 on the outside corner. 0-2 the count on Colton Howerton. Oh, 2 pitch. Up high. 1-2 the count. One and two the count. As Vince Scully used to say, that was a showcase pitch. Trying to get that batter to swing him at. There's a strike 3 call. So 1 out now. And here's Chris Buffler, the batter. 1 homers, 9 RBIs on the year. 9 RBIs. First pitch. There's a strike call on the inside corner. 0-1, Chris Buffler. Boy, good job of framing it by Tanner Sears. The 0-1 pitch. Nice job on the inside corner. Strike 2. 0-2 the count on Chris Buffler. No balls and 2 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 2 outs now. And here's Tyson Wallace. 1 homer, 8 RBIs. And I want to say his great-grandpa is Mike Wallace, who used to work for 60 Minutes as a news reporter. Back when he was one of the original ones when it debuted back in 1968. I remember watching that, followed by Murder, She Wrote, which I remember that came on at 7 because that was a show my mom used to love to watch. 0-1 the count. 0-1 pitch. It's a high pop-up there. Kyle Williams will call for it for the 3rd out. So 1 run on 1 hit thanks to a home run by Colton Howerton has given Baker a 1-0 lead there in the bottom of the 2nd inning. One run, 1 hit and error for Baker. No runs, no hits, no errors for Central Methodist. As Darius Freeman comes to bat there. Freeman, 3 homers, 13 RBI. Hit a grand slam home run in the bottom of the 1st inning. Game number 2. That gave Central Methodist that 4-1 lead there in that 1st inning. First pitch to him. That is a ball outside. 1-0 the count, followed by Peyton Becker. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2 now. 2-0 the count on Darius Freeman. They're playing him toward the left. That's inside. 3-0 the count. Becker on deck. DH. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike there, and it's 3-1 now. Three-one pitch. Ball 4 now, and it's a walk. And here's Peyton Becker. 2 RBIs on the day, on the season from Marion, Wisconsin. Around the Milwaukee area, famous TV shows here took place. One was Happy Days. The other one, Laverne and Shirley. And hopefully maybe for his walk-up on Senior Day, we may play the theme show of either Happy Days or Laverne and Shirley. Or I may even try to sing the song. Oh, and 1 to count. Maybe one day when Peyton Becker comes about, I'll have to sing that song. Because I kind of know the words of it. Because I've seen that show so many times. It's a high fly ball in the right center field. The right fielder goes back, and it's off the wall there. Freeman is rounding third. He is being waved around. Here's the throw. Cut off. Tie game at 1 on a double by Peyton Becker. His 3rd of the year. It's pretty good there, and it's a tie game at 1. It brings up David Soriano. 1 homer, 9 RBIs there. And you may know his long-distance cousin is Alfonso Soriano, famous for hitting a home run in the top of the 1st inning in the 2004 All-Star game off of Roger Clemens. First pitch, he tries to bunt, and it's a ball, I do believe, followed by Zeb Weedy. 1-0 pitch. Soriano tries to bunt. That's on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Becker's at second. Playing a little small ball like White Herzog used to do, and he lays on a bunt. They go to third, and they got him. So it's a force out, and I believe that would be a fielder's choice. If I was scoring it, that would be a fielder's choice. 1-5. Of course, there is no video review. Breland wants an explanation there. Here's Zeb Weedy up there. 4 homers, 15 RBI. Scored the game-winning run in game number 2 yesterday. Hit a 3-run homer as well, I think, in the first game, part of that 27-3 victory in game number 1 there. Soriano's at first. First pitch. And that is a strike call there. 0-1 the count. Now, I would tell you that was a right idea, but the difference was Soriano bunted to the pitcher there. If he would have bunted and the ball would have landed around the first base area there, it would have made the play more difficult for the pitcher because he would have had to turn and fire the first base. Outside there, 1-1 there. Valentin Cerna Jr. is on deck. 1-1 to count. Soriano's at first with a fine lead there. The 1-1. It's a little chopper to the shortstop there. They'll go to second for 1. The first. Fielder's choice. So 2 outs now. And here is Valentin Cerna Jr. He drew a walk his first time up there. Oh, yeah. Junior walked. Wheaties at first on the fielder's choice. And the pitch. Outside, ball 1 there. Remember, Central Methodist had the bases loaded, 1 out in the first inning. But Carlos Legron hit until a 4-3 double play. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. There's a strike on the inside corner there, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Hits a little ground ball to the first baseman. He'll take it himself for the 3rd out. So 1 run on the 1 hit. No errors. 1 left. We head to the top of the 3rd. A tie game at 1. One run, 1 hit, and an error for Baker University. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Central Methodist as Jaden Bowers will come to bat. No homers, 5 RBIs on the season. First pitch to him. There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 now. 0-1 the count. 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off. 0-2. Oh and 2 the count. 0-2 pitch. Ooh, just jacked to the backstop, and the count is 1-2 with Javier Aguirre on deck. A lot of students are all way on spring break. One-two pitch. It's a high fly ball into center field. Freeman giving a run. Makes the catch. Boy, he patrols center field like the great Woody Mays used to do that a lot. Back in the day when he was at the Giants, that was both in New York and San Francisco. Javier Aguirre, no homers, 3 RBIs on the season. First pitch to him. That is a strike call. 0-1 now on Javier Aguirre. Camden Carlin on deck. Oh, 1 pitch. Fouls it to the screen. 0-2 now. 0-2 now on Javier Aguirre. Oh, 2 pitch. Coming up to Aguirre, and that's a bit high. Or as Vin Scully will call it, that's a showcase pitch. Basically trying to get the batter to swing and miss out of the strike zone. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 quick outs now. He's got 5 in a row retired. And here's Camden Carlin. He struck out his first time up there. Inside, ball 1 now. Okay. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. Good job of framing it by Tanner Sears. 1-1 the count. On Camden Carlin, 2 quick outs there. The 1-1. 2-1 the count. Two balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1 now. Brendan Johnson on deck. Three balls and a strike, 3-1 pitch. Hits a fly ball to left field. Weedy will play it off the green monster there. And he'll roll into second there. Took a bad bounce there. Now, if he hadn't gone to the wall there and played that bounce perfectly, Carlin would have been at second. Because that's the best way to play the green monster there, because I can tell you this, in all the years I've watched Major League Baseball, I have watched games when they were played in Fenway Park. And the guy who was the master of it was Carl Yastrzemski. As Brennan Johnson out there, he popped out to Valentin Cerna Jr. his first time up. So 2 hits now for Baker University. First pitch to him. That kind of gets away from there. That'll be a pass ball there. And it's 1-0 to count. That would be a pass ball, no question about it, because it bounced off the catcher of Tanner Sears. So Marco Lopez just needs to settle down, talk to the baseball, point to Tanner Sears. count. The 1-0. 2-0. Eli Young is on deck. Two balls and no strikes. Carlin's at third. He had a double and then went to third on the pass ball. 2-0 pitch. Oh, nice stop there. I tell you what, he reminds me of Roy Campanella. Of course, the great catcher of the Dodgers from the 1940s. And I mean, he played a lot for the Dodgers back when they were in Brooklyn. He was the heart and soul of that Dodger team along with Pee Wee Reese and Duke Snyder. There's a strike call, and 3-1 now. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. Ball four now. So now first and third, 2 outs for Eli Young, who bounced out to Zeb Weedy. What Norris here, or you may know me as the Vin Scully of Central Methodist. Because a lot of people, if you ever listen to me, I have been known to talk like the great Vin Scully, who was the voice of the Dodgers for 67 years of it. And I always remember him on NBC television during the game of the week. A little hit and run play and a foul ball there. And the strike is 0-1 to Eli Young. No balls and 1 strike to Eli Young. Of course, the Dodgers open up with Detroit on the 27th of March, 6 o'clock. As they unveil their championship banner, I think their 8th. Their 8th championship banner overlooking Dodger Stadium on 1000 Vin Scully Drive. 0-1 the count, first and third. Johnson dancing third, dancing off first. Just like the great Jackie Robinson used to do that a lot with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Oh, he will always give pitchers a lot of fits. Where he would dance off the mound there, dance off first. And then one time, he danced off third so many times, the pitcher balked. 0-1 pitch. A little fist shot to the shortstop. That's Soriano for the third out. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2. We head to the bottom of the third inning. A tie game at 1 on the Art Conference Network. Now, which part of Brazil are you from? I always remember Kyle Williams was hit by a pitch his first time up. 1 run, 2 hits, and an error for Baker. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Central Methodist. Strike call, 0-1 now. 0-1 the count. It's a little chopper along the first base side. First baseman will take care of it, and there's out number 1 there. And here's Tanner Sears. He struck out his first time up on the 3-2 pitch that looked like ball 4. but it snuck on the inside corner there. First pitch to him. 0-1 the count there on Tanner Sears. One ball, no strike, the 1-0 pitch. Ooh, bit high, little curveball outside, 2-0 the count. Two-0 pitch. 3-0 the count. 3-0 on Tanner Sears. You wonder he'll get the green light from Nate Breland. 3-0 pitch. Takes it all the way. 3-1 now. I think that's Jordan Fitzpatrick coaching at third. That's Trey Rosenfloss at first base. 3-1 to count. 3-1 pitch. Chops it foul, and it's 3-2. 3-2 the count on Tanner Sears with one out now. 3-2 pitch. Little cue shot there. Pitcher has it. He'll throw over the first for out number 2. So 2 quick outs now for Ryan Malzahn. Reached on error his first time up there. Malzahn, right-handed hitter up there. First pitch to him. That's a high ball one. 1-0 the count. One ball, no strikes to 1-0. Misses that one. 2-0 on deck is Carlos Negron. 2-0 pitch. It's a high fly ball in the right field. Right fielder gives a chase. Back, away, back, and it's into the tree branches for a home run for Ryan Malzahn. And Central Methodist has a 2-1 lead for Ryan Malzahn, his second of the year, RBI number 16. Well, that ball was hit pretty high. We didn't know where the ball was, but once it went into the tree branches, it was gone. Here's Carlos Negron hitting to a 6-4-3 double play his first time up. First pitch to him. High pop up there. Second baseman calls for it, and I think the right fielder comes in, and I think the right fielder comes in and makes the catch, but Central Methodist gets one run on one hit. Thanks to a home run by Ryan Malzahn, has given Central Methodist a 2-1 lead as we head to the top of the fourth inning. Hey. Two runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 2 hits, and an error for Baker University. And it's Colton Howerton up there. Hit a home run his first time up. Hit one to the right field area. Marcos Lopez trying to keep it where it is. A 2-1 game. Swing and a miss. Strike one. A That Howerton home run came in the second inning, gave Baker the 1-0 lead, but then Central Methodist tied it up on the double by Peyton Becker. And then the 2-1 lead on the home run by Ryan Malzahn. 1-1 to count there. John Jenkins on deck. The 1-1. 2-1 to count. Two balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. Misses that one. 3-1 now. 3-1 now on Colton Howerton. 3-1 pitch. Fouls it off. 3-2 now. John Jenkins. Throws over there. Just that close. Bang, bang play there. On 1 to count. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count on John Jenkins. Oh, 2 the count. They throw over there, and back goes Colton Howerton. 0-2 the count. 0-2 pitch. There goes the runner. Here's the throw. Almost had him, but I think if Valentine Sterner Jr. would have handled it pretty cleanly, I think he would have got Colton Howerton easily. But instead, the count is 1-2. One and two, the count. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, Weedy checks that runner. Throws over to Kyle Williams for out number 1. So 1 out now. And here's Chris Butler. He struck out his first time up there. Chris Bolivar up there. Howerton's at second. Walk, stole second. Lopez will work from that stretch position. The pitch to him. Ball 1 there. 1-0 the count. The 1-0. There goes that runner there. They throw over there. I think they got him. Yes, sir. Oh, baby. What a play. They got him. What a throw by Tannerson. Boy, he can throw a runner. He has a throwing arm that reminds me of Johnny Bench. the great catcher of the Cincinnati Reds. Johnny had the quickest release I have ever seen by a catcher. 2-0 pitch. Strike, 2-1 now. Every time I see Tanner Sears, that's who he always reminds me of, Johnny Bench. 2-1 pitch. That's a bit high, 3-1 now. And the thing about it is, with Johnny Bench back in the day, he never had to ask Sparky. He was a master of calling his own pitches. He never had to ask Sparky Anderson about what pitch to call or what sequence to call for. Fly ball in the left field. Malzahn has it. So no runs on no hits, no errors, no one left on. We're halfway home. 2-1 lead for Central Methodist. Sure, yeah, I can. I don't think that'd be. Yeah, you can. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for 1 error for Baker. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Central Methodist as Darius Freeman comes up bat there. Freeman walked. First pitch to him. Hits a little line drive shot in the center field. Center fielder Johnson gives a run. Makes a sliding catch in front of the warning track for out number 1. That was a great job there by Brendan Johnson patrolling center field out there. Peyton Becker doubled and drove in a run his first time up. 3 RBIs on the year. First pitch to him. Tries to bunt, and it's a ball. 1-0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1-1 now. 1-1 now on Peyton Becker. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 to count. Two-one pitch there. 3-1 now. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. So 1 out walk there. Here is David Soriano. He was reached on a fielder's choice. That was when he tried to bunt. Moved Becker to third. Becker was thrown out of third on the bunt attempt. Becker's at first. He is a good runner. So if Soriano could put it down the deep area of the left fielder or right fielder, I think there's a good chance Becker could score, especially down that left field area. Heading toward that corner, I think that would probably score him easily. The 0-1 now. There's a strike call, 0-2 now. playing him toward right. They check on Becker. Back goes Becker. Becker's at first with the one-out walk, the 0-2. Lines it, and that's a double play. A wicked shot there. So no runs, no hits, no errors, no one let down. We're through 4. Central Methodist 2, Baker 1 on the Heart Conference Network. Two runs, 2 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 1 run, 2 hits, and error for Baker University. As Tyson Wallace comes about, he popped out to Kyle Williams his first time up. Of course, after this, we'll have about a 30-minute break. During that time, we'll watch the Yogi Bear show, where tonight, Yogi Bear meets Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. And also, we'll throw it over to our TNT studio. That's Liam McEwen, Anson Carter, and Henry Lundquist. Of course, we'll give you an update on the NHL game there. That's ball 2 there. That's between New Jersey and Philadelphia. New Jersey has a 2-0 lead over Philadelphia. 16:31 to go in the third period. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 the count there as Jaden Bowers is on deck. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4 now, so leadoff walk. Jaden Bowers flew out to Darius Freeman out in center field. First pitch tries to bunt, lays down a beautiful bunt. Lopez's only play is the first. Kyle Williams takes care of it. So 1 out now. Sack 1-3 on your scorecard there. So 1 out now. Javier Aguirre struck out his first time up. Two-1 lead for Central Methodist. Baker scored 1 the second inning. A liner in the center field. There's a base hit. They're going to hold the runners there. Good job of hustling there by Freeman, keeping the ball in front, but most importantly, keeping Wallace at third base. Because otherwise, he could have scored easily. Now it's first and third for Camden Carlin. 1 for 2 with a double. And looks like looks like the pitching coach walked there. Maybe just go over the scouting reports on how to pitch to Camden Carlin. While we do that, we'll give. So it's 2-1 lead for New Jersey over Philadelphia. 16:33 to go in the third period down in Philadelphia. Scoring got started in the top of the second inning when Colton Howerton hit a home run there that made it 1-0. Central Methodist scored on a Peyton Becker double, bringing in Darius Freeman to tie it 1. And in the third inning, Ryan Malzahn hits his home run over the right field wall to give Central Methodist a 2-1 lead, and that's where we stand, 2-1. It looks like that's Landon Willingham warming up in the Central Methodist bullpen. So Carlin 1 for 2. First and third now. Infield in at the corners. Infield, normal depth in the middle. Anticipating maybe a double play ball. And remember, a couple of times, Baker had bases loaded situation, but come away with nothing. Central Methodist had one in the first inning, but LeGrand into a double play. And it's a ball, 1-0 to count. If you look ahead to the bottom of the fifth inning, you got Weedy, Cerna Jr., and Williams. The lower third of the order. They were the ones that got him going in game number 2 yesterday. Chops it foul, 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Camden Carlin. One ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. Misses out 1, 2-1 now. 2 balls and a strike on Camden Carlin. Came into the series, team's leading hitter, 4-15. 2-1 to count. They throw over there. Two balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. Lines it, fouled. 2-2. My mom used to tell me every time we play baseball out there, just straighten it out. Mom and Dad used to tell me that a lot and said, straighten it out, buddy. Two and two the count. 2-2 pitch. Lines that one. Fouled. Boy, that was close. That was within maybe about 3 inches to giving Baker a 3-2 lead. That was into the deepest part of the left field corner there. Two and two to count on Camden Carlin. 2-2 pitch. Lines a shot. Freeman coming in. Makes the catch. Tagging up from third is Wallace to tie the game at 2. That's a sac fly and RBI. And Carlin now has 12 RBIs on the season and a tie game at 2. Here's Brennan Johnson 0 for 1 with a walk. Three hits already for Baker University, and they throw over there just to test Javier Aguirre. 2 o'clock there, and we're moving right along. First pitch. There's a strike call. 0-1 now. 0-1 now on Brennan Johnson. 0-1 pitch. That's outside. 1-1 now. 1 ball and a strike. One and one to count. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. There's the throw. I think they got him. Yes, sir! And Gary is caught stealing. So 1 run on 2 hits. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors. No one that's on. Bottom of the fifth inning. A tie game at 2. Two runs, 3 hits, and an error for Baker. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. Here's Zeb Weedy. Reached on a fielder's choice his first time. In between innings, the Baker coach was talking to the home plate umpire. I think that was about that call at second base. First pitch to Weedy. That's a strike on the inside corner there. Just caught the corner there, and it's 0-1 now. Oh, 1 pitch. Lines a shot. There's a base hit for Zeb Weedy. Third hit of the game for Central Methodist. Of course, he was the one that got the 8th inning of game number 1 of game 2 started with that single there. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr. 0 for 1 with the walk. We like him. Looks like a courtesy runner. Looks like Aaron Guess, I'm sorry. Aaron Guess Jr. So Cerna Jr., the left-handed hitter up there. Guess Jr.'s at first. Go ahead run. First pitch to him. Lays down the butt. Oh, that's a beauty, but foul. Strike 1. Oh, and 1 to count on Valentin Cerna Jr. Of course, 30 years ago tomorrow, made my debut as a PA announcer for Central Methodist Baseball. Sophomore in college. By a gentleman named Mark Robb. 0-1 now. Lays out a beautiful bunt there. Third baseman has it. Throws over the first for the out. And at second base is Aaron Guess. Jenkins takes the throw there. So 5-3. So Kyle Williams up there 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time and then grounded out to first base in the third inning. So Guess Jr.'s at second. The courtesy runner for Zeb Weedy. First pitch to him. Chops it foul. Strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Single can give Central Methodist the lead there. The 0-1. Hits a little chopper to the third base to the second baseman. Throws over the first, and there's out number 2. And Guess Jr.'s at third with 2 outs for Tanner Sears, who is 0 for 2 on today. Juniors at third with 2 outs. And Sears fouls it off to the screen. 0-1 now. Tie game at 2. On deck is Ryan Malzahn hit the home run that gave Central Methodist a 2-1 lead in the third inning. Ball 1 now. 1-1 to count. One. Hits a chopper, foul. 1-2 the count. One and two to count. It's a high pop-up on the first base side that may go out of play. It does. That was one of those areas known as no man's landing. So 1-2 the count on Tanner Sears. Regroups, trying to figure out what pitch to want. 1-2 pitch. Nice stop by the catcher, and it's 2-2 now. Guess. Two and two the count. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, 3-2 now. Malzahn's on deck. 3-2 the count on Tanner Sears. 3-2 pitch. Chopper foul. He might have hit his foot. Bottom of the fifth inning, 2-2 tie. Three and two to count. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, take your base. So first and third for Ryan Malzahn. 1 for 2 with a homer and an RBI. That home run came in the third inning. That gave Central Methodist a 2-1 lead. And now the courtesy runner. That's Gavin Whitehurst. Now it looks like a little conference action there. So after the conference action is done, here's Ryan Malzahn, 1 for 2 with a homer and an RBI. He also reached on an error in the first inning. So first and third. Whitehurst is at first. Guest Junior's at third. Ball 1 now. Negron's on deck. Remember, Negron so far has 4 homers and 8 RBIs. The 1-0. Fouls it off. 1-1 now. One and one to count. There goes the runner. And he'll take second there. I believe the count will be 2-1. It is. I thought maybe Guest Junior may try the old double steals trick. The last player ever stole home in a World Series, Tim McCarver. Game 7 in the 1964 World Series. And the starting pitcher that day for the Yankees, was Whitey Ford. 2-1 to count. Ball 3 now. 3-1 now. And now ball 4, and that's an intentional walk. So the bases are loaded full of Eagles. And that'll be the second time Carlos Legrand's been up there with the bases loaded full of Eagles. And we'll have a pitching call. The bullpen is sponsored by Boost Mobile. So 4 2/3 for today's starting pitcher, Cole Starlin. So Camden Carlin, a starting pitcher there. 0-0, 5.40 ERA with no walks and a strikeout. I can do that, yeah. So bases loaded full of Eagles. Gus Jr.'s at third. Kersey running for Weedy. Gavin Whitehurst at second. Gavin Whitehurst, Kersey running for Tanner Sears, and that's Ryan Malzahn there for Carlos Legrand. 0 for 2. Remember, he came with the bases loaded and 1 out. Hit into a double play. Ball 1 now. Darius Freeman on deck. The 1-0. Ball 2. 2-0. Leads the team in RBIs with 18. 2 balls and no strikes. A single brings into a double, could clean the bases. Triple, same thing. Pots it up. Right fielder calls for it. So no runs on 1 hit. No errors. 3 left on. We're through 5. A tie game at 2.
Welcome. Extends off the playing field and into
2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Baker. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. For the second time, Central Methodist had the bases loaded. Both times, Negron came in with nothing. Of course, Negron until a 6-4-3 double play in the first, and then flew out to right field. As Brendan Johnson is the batter, he was at bat when Javier Gary was caught stealing. New third baseman Dominic Proctor from Dumfries, Virginia. I would say around the Richmond area. Either between Richmond and maybe Washington, D.C. area. Looks like something wrong there, maybe some technical problem. Looks like the coaches are working on it. Actually, Nate Breland working on Tanner Sears is. I think that's his catching signals. First pitch to him. There's a strike call. 0-1 now. Eli Young on deck, followed by Colton Howerton. The 0-1. It's a little ground ball to Valentine Sterninger. Charges it. Throws over to Kyle Williams in time for out number 1. So 1 out now in the top of the 6th inning. Here's Eli Young, 0 for 2 on the day. I believe that's Landon Willingham still warming up in the Central Methodist bullpen area. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Oh and 1 to count on Eli Young. Here's the pitch. There's another one on the outside court. Good job of framing it by Tanner Sears. If everything goes according to plan, we may start a little early, even though the second game is scheduled for 3:30. Usually a 30-minute break, so we may start maybe about 3:15 or so. 0-2 pitch. Outside 1-2 now. One ball, 2 strikes on Eli Young. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. So 2 quick outs now. Here's Colton Howerton. 1 for 1 of the home run. That came in the second inning. Gave Baker the 1-0 lead. Also drew a walk. His last time up in the 4th inning. The first pitch to him. Outside, ball 1 now. John Jenkins is on there. The 1-0. Slices that one foul. 1-1 now. One and one now on Colton Howerton. If you look ahead to the bottom of the 6th inning, Freeman, Becker, Soriano. One and one to count on Colton Howerton. The 1-1. There's the curveball on the outside corner. 1-2 now. One ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Popped it up into center field. I think Freeman has it. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. Goes to the bottom of the 6th inning. A tie game at 2. 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Baker. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. As Darius Freeman up there 0 for 1, drew a walk in the second inning. Freeman hit a grand slam in that first inning in game number 2. That gave Central Methodist a 4-1 lead. First pitch to him. There's a strike call, 0-1 the count. Peyton Becker on deck. The 0-1. Misses that one, 1-1 now. One ball, one strike. The 1-1. Hits a little fly ball in the left field. Left fielder has it. Makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Peyton Becker, 1 for 1 with a double. All hit double and drove in a run his first time up. He also drew a walk. First pitch to him. Fouls it to the screen. So far, he has 3 RBIs, all in this series. The 0-1 now. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count on Peyton Becker. Oh, 2 pitch. Hits a high pop-up there on the first base side. That may go out of play. That's heading toward the Baker University bullpen area. Oh, 2 now on Peyton Becker. The 0-2. Bounces at ball 1. One and 2 the count on Peyton Becker. 1-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. 1 and 2 the count. One and 2 the count. 1-2 pitch. Misses that one, 2 and 2. David Soriano on deck. Two pitch. Ball 3. 3 and 2 now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 and 2 the count. 3-2 pitch. It's a high fly ball in the center field in the right center field. It's well hit, going back, and it's off the wall there. Boy, he came within an inch from making it a 3-2 lead. It's a double there. It looked like it hit the yellow line. Boy, that was close. He hit it pretty good, but it hit the yellow line. I think you have to hit it over the yellow line before a home run. So David Soriano 0 for 2 on today. Soriano the batter. Becker's at second with 1 out. A base hit would give Central Methodist the lead there. The pitch to him. Ball 1. 1-0 the count on David Soriano. I believe Zeb Wheaty's on deck. The 1-0. Inside corner strike. 1-1 now. Becker's at second with the double. 1 out. 1 to count to David Soriano, who has 9 RBIs on the year. The 1-1. Little cue shot just past the third baseman. They're going to hold the runner first and third now. So now first and third. The 5th hit of the game now for Central Methodist. And Zeb Weedy up there, 1 for 2 with a single. So it looks like another conference action there. And Zeb Weedy the batter with 1 out. If he can put it in play, say the deepest part of the outfield, that will score Becker with the sac fly. First and third now, and the pitch to him. Ball 1 on deck is Valentin Cerna Jr. 5 hits for Central Methodist. 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now. One and one to count. 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off. 1-2 now. Today's attendance, 46,410. Millions are watching on television across the world. One and two to count on Zeb Weedy. First and third, 1 out. The 1-2. Chops it foul, still 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The next home game is not until March the 29th. And that first game, that's a 4-game series with William Penn. That first game will mark my 500th Central Methodist baseball game. Fouls it off. Still 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. First and third, 1 out. 1-2. There goes the runner, and he is in there. Surprising, I'm surprised Becker did not try to steal home there. Because a lot of times when you have runners at first and third and the throw goes to second, a lot of times Becker would try to take off for third. And I remember seeing that a lot on television with the old double steals trick. So now it's 2-2 now on Zeb Weedy. Base hit can bring you 2. Fouls that one off. Estes Field shivering with its concrete foundations. Infield in. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 2 outs now. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr. 0 for 1. Walked in the first. Grounded out the first. Had a sac bunt in the 5th. Second and third, 2 outs. The first pitch. Fouls that one off. Strike one. Kyle Williams is on deck. 0-1 to count. First of 2 today. Second game about 30 minutes afterwards. The 0-1 now. Up high, 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, in between we'll have the Yogi Bear show, where tonight Yogi Bear meets Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. 1-1 pitch. Chops that one foul. One and 2 now on Valentine Cerner Jr. Second and third, 2 outs. Base hit can bring you 2. 2-2, 1-2 pitch. Nice stop there. 2-2. Kyle Williams on deck. 2-2 pitch. Hits a high fly ball into right field. Right fielder goes back, away, back. It's gone! A 3-run homer for Valentine Cerna Jr. and Central Methodist leads it 5-2. His first of the year, RBI number 7, has given Central Methodist a 5-2 lead. 6 hits now for Central Methodist. Here's Kyle Williams, 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, then hit 2 ground outs his 2 previous times up. Strike 1 to call there. A 5-2 lead. The 0-1 now. Ball 1-1 now. 1 ball and a strike. Even though the scoreboard says 2-0, I think it's 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looks like 2-1, but we'll just wait and see. It should be 1-2. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Two and 2 to count. You know what? I was right. Always watch the umpires. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Just to increase the tension. Two and 2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Two balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Swings and misses. Strike 3. So Central Methodist gets 3 runs on 3 hits. Thanks to a 3-run homer by Valentine Cerna Jr. has given Central Methodist a 5-2 lead as we head to the 7th inning. runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Baker. Central Methodist, just 3 more outs for win number 10, but most importantly, 4-3 in the conference. Hopefully, the second game, I know it's scheduled for 3:30, but there's a good possibility it may be 3:15 or so, but we'll wait and see. It's John Jenkins up there, 0 for 2, as Marco Lopez has really been on cruise control. First pitch to him, and now has a 3-run lead to work with. And it's ball 1 there. The 1-0 pitch. I think it hit him. Here's Chris Bollifer, 0 for 2 on today. So now it looks like a pitching change there. We'll take the bullpen, sponsored by Dairy Queen. I think that's Landon Willingham. So 6 innings from Marco Lopez. And he gets a round of applause from this fine 46,000 people here at Central Methodist. Willingham, 1-1, 5.63 ERA, 3 walks and 11 strikeouts already. He is from a town in Hazlet, Texas. That's in the Dallas area, where the famous TV show, The Dallas Show, used to take place. Starting Larry Hagman used to come on at 8 o'clock every Friday night. That was one fun show to watch there. So 6 innings in the books for Marco Lopez. New Jersey beat Philadelphia 3-1. Pittsburgh and Minnesota should be getting started down in Minneapolis. So now coming to bat is Chris Bollifer. Landon Willingham on the mound there, trying to keep it a 3-run game. This is a save situation. Pops it up. Let's see who calls for it. Weedy makes the catch for out number 1. 1 down, 2 to go. Here's Tyson Wallace, 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch to him. There's another pop-up there. Who's calls for? Negron, 2 down, and 1 more to go. Cade Adams is the batter. One more to go. Whittingham's done his job. He's got 2 quick outs. Both on first pitches. And the pitch to him. Ball 1. 1-0 to count. Javier Gary's on deck. The 1-0. Fouls that one off. 1-1 now. Gary is representing the tying run on deck. Whittingham's done his job there. The 1-1. Bounces in front. 2-1. Two and one to count. Jenkins at first. He was hit by a pitch from Lopez. A fly ball hit well into left center field, and it's gone, but suddenly a 5-4 ball game for Cade Adams. That's his first of the year, RBI number 2. But it's only a 5-4 ball game. There's still one more out to go as Javier Gary up there 1 for 2 with a single. And Seth Brown batted 1 time, went 0 for 1. Has a homer and 2 RBIs on the season. Needs one more out there for victory number 10. First pitch. Ball 1 there. 1-0 to count with Camden Carlin on deck. Suddenly it's 5-4 now to increase the tension a little bit. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Camden, on Seth Brown. 1-1 to count. The 1-1. Misses that one. 2-1 now. Two and one to count. 2-1 pitch. There's a strike. 2-2 now. Two and 2 to count. 1 strike to go. Crowd is in it. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul just to increase the tension. Estes Field shivering with its concrete foundations. 2 and 2 to count to Seth Brown. 5-4 Central Methodist. The 2-2 pitch. Chops that one foul. Still 2 and 2. Second game scheduled for 3:30, so we may get to start a little early, which that would be fine by me. Two-two pitch. Chops that one foul. Still 2 and 2. They're waiting for the ball to get out of play there. Just need to reach back for something extra, you might say. 2 and 2 to count. 1 strike away, 1 out away. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Sears has to throw over the first to complete it, and that's the winner, folks. 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, and Central Methodist wins at 5-4. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 4 runs, 4 hits, and error for Baker. Central Methodist with the victory. They are now 4 and 3, 10 and 7 in the conference there. while Baker goes to 4-3 in the conference, 7-8 altogether. We'll have the second game for you around the 3:30 hour there. Well, right now it's time for the Yogi Bear Show, where tonight Yogi Bear meets Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.